All right. Happy Tuesday. And thank you so much for hopping on this call. We're really, really excited to kick off officially the fourth quarter with you guys. And I think that 9 of us on this call, others, joining in, tuning in, they'll be popping in, says a lot about this team and our commitment to the fourth quarter. And if you were on the call this week, the TFTF call this week, they really talked about that. The third quarter is really that hard, sticky quarter. Things are kind of stagnant. People's schedules start to really ramp up as far as being so busy. And that is when you, as a partner, our teams as partners, we either fall out or we lean in, right? Like that is the moment in time that you really decide whether or not this business is too much work and you're not going to give it what it needs to grow, or you're ready to be one of the success stories that actually pushes through that third quarter to ramp up your success. And as we were looking towards the fourth quarter, success doesn't happen on your own. It just doesn't. There isn't enough fire. There isn't enough of that like drive in your belly to do anything alone. And I think anybody who tried a fitness program without an accountability group before and failed can attest to that. Doing things as a team really changes the game. And Nicole and I got together and we were like, how can we, even for our own businesses, how can we lean in and make this a group effort, right? Without a push for a specific rank or a specific, timeline. There isn't a hard goal. There isn't a win or lose, a fail or succeed. It's just a way in a community that we can build of, number one, women who want to be here. Nobody told you that this is a requirement, that you're kicked off the team if you don't come. You're here because you chose to be here. And this group of women is super special to me because of that. You wanted to be here. And by linking arms with a bunch of women who are like, I'm here, I'm ready to do the work. We're not expecting perfection. Nobody's telling you that if you don't do X, Y, and Z, that you're out. It's just, how big can we get? How much can we grow as individuals? And guess what? When we grow as individuals, then collectively as a team, like magic just happens. And we've seen it before in this exact team. Nicole did a rally similar to this back when we pushed for 5-star. And it was literally just this. It was, let's peel back all the layers and just do the things. And when one person does the things, I can feel it already. I don't know if you guys feel it when somebody posts, my post is up for the day in that group. It's like, oh yeah, their post is up. I got to get my post up. Oh, that post was amazing. That's an idea for me. Like, that is the energy that we're after to just make magic happen. So we wanted to start the call by saying, thank you for being here. Give yourself a pat. My kid is screaming. Give yourself a pat on the back for being one of those partners that you already stand out from the crowd, because you already chose to not turn your back when it got a little bit sticky in the third quarter, and you're choosing to lean into the fire to build your momentum, which is only going to explode your business in 2023, but really set you up for 2024 in alignment with the new compensation plan. All right. Thank you for being here. Kicking it off to Nicole.
Yes. Hi, guys. At the hockey rink, in case you wondered what box I'm in here. But I echo everything that Katie said. Her and I got together and we're just chatting like, okay, can we work together and like really end this quarter strong and just set you all up for success? Like, that's really what this is about. And we decided like not to push for any specific rank. Like, we're not expecting you guys to hit anything specific. We just really want to support you all and help you achieve your goals. And we're looking at long-term goals here, right? We're not just looking at the end of the year, like how can we set you up for success in the new year too. So we want you to really like think about what your goal is 1 year from now. Like, where do you see yourself 1 year from now? And I want you to write this down. Like, let's really think about this. Where do you think that you and your team are going to be in October of next year? Is that a 2-star team? Is that a 5-star team? Do you plan on locking in Premier, Elite next year? Maybe your goal is more financial. Maybe you want to be making $1,000 per week by this time next year. Like, really think about what that is for you and for your family. Maybe you want to leave your full-time job by this time next year, right? Like, how powerful are those big goals? That is what is going to push you. Like that, when I went from Diamond to 5-star, it was the fact that I was going to leave my job that pushed me to wake up early, to stay up late, to do the tracker when I didn't want to send the invites when I didn't think I had anybody left to invite, to continue to connect, to keep doing the free groups, to keep doing the opportunity calls, like to fit that all in, even though my schedule was maxed already, right? It was that vision. And that's what it takes, you guys. That's what it takes to get to that level that you want to get to. All right. It's not pushing the tracker off. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's not waiting till the new year, right? We're all going to work together right now to make sure that you hit your goals next year. So thinking about the quarter, right? We're in the final quarter of this year, but let's not even like think about that it's the final quarter of 2023. Like, let's look at this next quarter. Where do you want to end the next 3 months? Like, break that down, right? From your big goal from one year from now, let's break that down into quarters. Like, what do you need to do to get to that big goal of 1 year from now? What do you need to do in this quarter? Is that get your diamond back? Is that get to 2-star? Like, what needs to happen in these next 3 months? Like, who cares? It's the holidays. Like, we're removing all like those limiting beliefs. Like, what needs to happen in this next quarter for your business to continue to grow and to set yourself up for success for that 1 year goal? All right. And then we're going to break that down even further. Like, what needs to happen this month for you to get to that quarter goal? How many business builders do you need on your team to hit your goal by the end of the quarter? Break that down by month, right? Do you need 5 business builders? Is that 2 per month? All right, and then break that down even further to your weekly goals. So if you don't have any business builders right now, what do you need to do to get to those 2 business builders? Like, how many people do you need to be talking to about the opportunity, right? That's how we're breaking this down. So every week we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be doing a planning call every single week. We're going to be touching base with you guys on your goals. We're going to get really, really uncomfortable over these next few weeks, but we're here to help you guys. We're here to push you. Because like I said, like those big long-term goals, they take a push. They take getting uncomfortable, and we've done it, right? Katie and I have done it. We've been there. We know it's hard. We're both juggling a lot too. And so we just want to be the support system to help you make those big things a reality. Do you want to share the graphic? Or I can too. I got it. Nope, I can't share screen. So yeah, I hope you guys are, your wheels are turning. I hope you're excited. Like, we want to just really support everything that it takes to do all of those things, with opportunity calls, with just helping you with your content planning, helping you with a game plan as far as your groups go. We're going to be hosting a mentorship starting next week that you guys get to invite to, and I'm super, super pumped about that. Katie and I have not ran a mentorship together in a long time, so I'm just really excited to work with her, but to also just bring that to you guys and to have something really like more formal, right? Where you can actually be excited. This is something Katie and I talked about. Like, let's have some things that you guys are excited to invite to, excited to talk about. And when I did the Confident CEO last year with Jamie, it was, and I think Angie and Kelly both jumped on board during that time when we did like a formal mentorship, right? We talked about exactly what we were going to do, and we talked about who we wanted in this group, and we talked about what we were going to do to help those people who joined that masterclass or that Confident CEO course. And I think that really gets people excited. Like, okay, she's got the tools that are going to help me be successful. And I can trust her that she's going to help me because she has a plan. And I think people are looking for that, right? They're not looking for somebody who's just like, yeah, I have a mentorship, you should join me. People want more information, right? They need to feel safe. They need to feel supported. And that's what this is all about. That's what the Confident CEO does. And that's why it has like a fancy name, right? And that's why it's a 4-week course. And that's why it has a pretty workbook that you guys are going to be able to offer your people. So weekly planning calls on Sundays. Katie and I are going to alternate those. I'm going to host the first one this weekend on Sunday. And we want to hear from you guys, right? Like, we want to know, like, what is it that you're struggling to get in your schedule? What are some things that you need help with to set yourself up for success for the week? Let us know. I have a lot of time during the week to work on projects, and I set certain times of my day aside to work on projects. I'm at the coffee shop twice a week, and that is kind of what I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, is I really work on those things. So I want you to ask if there's something that you need. The Confident CEO, the TCCEO mentorship, that's going to start next Monday. So we want you guys to start talking about this like tonight, right? Like, let everybody know that you jumped on this powwow call with your team and that you're excited to be hosting a mentorship next week. Katie and I are going to do the bulk of that mentorship. You're going to have your people in there. We're going to do weekly Q&As in there, so you can be a part of that weekly Q&A. And then we'll have a chat pod for all of the people that are in the mentorship together. So we're going to help you support that.
Yeah, and I think, Nicole touched on the fact that our followers, those who are interested in potentially starting a business, want that level of mentorship. But at the same time, I think as partners, we need that level of confidence that what we have to offer is actually going to bring your new partner success. And I think that this is a big area, at least for my team, that we've maybe been lacking. We half invite because we aren't necessarily confident that we're going to have enough people to put together a successful mentorship, and that it's going to be just crickets because there's only 1 or 2 people in there, and then we're not confident in what we're selling and what we're offering our people. And that was one of the areas that, when Nicole and I really started to talk to each other, that if we can link arms with a few more people, I mean, look at the amount of women on this call who are saying, hey, look at me, I'm here, I want to do this. Take confidence in that you're linking arms with 12 women who are on here tonight who are going to be inviting to the same thing you're inviting to. And the power behind this mentorship is priceless going into this quarter that we're shooting for, whatever your goal was for this quarter. You have this mentorship opportunity and you can go into it and speak in a way that you're so excited because you know that we've got the framework there that you get to add your people to, that they will just thrive in this business. So lean into that.
So one of the things that we're going to do to help you guys talk about the business a little bit more and to invite to the mentorship is a weekly opportunity call. And we are going to do our first one on Friday. This is going to be a lunch and learn, I think at noon on Friday. So we'll get you guys some more information on that. We shared some slides in our stories today. Some of you might have seen that. And I will share that template for you guys, and you can edit that yourself and get your own picture in there. But that is going to be our first one. Katie and I are going to run that, and you guys can kind of just tune in and see what that's all about. But then every week we're going to change up the time because we know that noon doesn't work for everybody every week, obviously. So we'll change it up. We want to hear from you guys, like what works for you. Maybe it's a Saturday morning coffee chat, right? Maybe it's a Sunday night. So we'll change that up. So let us know what works for you guys or what your preferred times are. But we're gonna share the slides. I already have a slide PowerPoint for that call. So we've done that work for you already. All you have to do is show up and get your people on it. So basically it's a hype call, right? It's a hype call for the mentorship. It's a hype call to get them excited about what we do. It's sharing our stories. It's sharing a little bit about like what the day in the life looks like. It's sharing a little bit about like what they can expect before they say yes. So that's really what that is about. And then content, social media support. We are going to put together a content calendar for you guys for every single month the rest of the year and maybe beyond. And we're going to work together to kind of do similar type groups so that everything really aligns. Assuming that you guys are going to be doing your groups with us. We've already talked about doing Black Friday sale in November. Like, holy crap, that's coming up, you guys. We've talked about doing 25 days of fitness. If you didn't do that with one of us last year, that's something that Katie and I do pretty much every single year. We're not going to be able to do all of these groups together because there's just too many of us, which is an amazing thing. But we'll have our 2 separate groups. Regardless, we're going to share graphics and all of that together. So if you want to do your own thing, like great, do your own thing and use the graphics that we're using. But really, I think it's about having a plan and having a marketing, plan in align with that, and then doing your social media posts and your stories. That all goes together, and that all really helps to create confidence in the people who are following you. And then, of course, the daily tracker drops, which we're already doing.
And I just wanted to add a lot of what we do, a lot of, at least I can speak for my team, is it's invite to your boot camp and then invite to the opportunity. And I think we've really been missing a big opportunity by using that mentality. If you've been listening to any of the national wake up calls, any of the TFTF calls, if you've been leaning into any of that, the theme really is that income growth is aligned with team growth. And if you're continuing to maybe put Success Club points on the board or recruit new challengers, but you're missing the opportunity to recruit business builders and partners, like active partners on your team, that's really where the income is driven in this. So I'm really excited to be able to offer weekly opportunity calls. And that's literally an opportunity for you to invite daily to the business opportunity with a, would you be interested in learning more about what I do? I have a call on fill in the date, right? It's going to be every single week. So you have the date for this week. It's Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. For those of you that are in a different time zone, once we finish that call, you'll have the date and time for the next week's call. So every single time you're having a conversation, you get to be confident again in that you have something to invite to. And Amanda's right. Like, you've got to get ready to get uncomfortable. If you've not been talking about the business opportunity a lot, newsflash, that's where we're heading. If you've not been inviting to the business opportunity a lot, surprise, that's what we're here for. And that's going to be a big, big focus, because I think you guys all rock at the challenge group side of it, right? You probably run a great boot camp. You talk about it, you share your results, you share all the things, but like, where's the business side? And I think that when you're leading a group of people, or when you're stepping into that role, the first thing you have to ask yourself is like, where am I struggling? And for me, this is it. I need more opportunities to invite to. I need to be more confident in what I'm inviting to, and I need to get the message out there more. And I'm so excited to be in the trenches with you guys doing this together, because this is what I need. I hope that this is what you feel like maybe your business really needs. And can you imagine if you invite to the business opportunity every single week for the next quarter, what that's going to look like going into 2024? Like, I can't even comprehend. Think about, if you jot down on a piece of paper, how many partners you brought in the first 9 months of the year. How many brand new partners did you bring in? Of those new partners, how many of them actually started doing something? Whatever that number is, we're about to triple it in this one quarter. We're going to take all 3 quarters, we're going to mash them together, and we're going to do 3 times that in this last quarter. And it comes from having these opportunities to talk about it and invite every single week. So lean in and get excited and be confident, and you're not doing it alone. You don't have to come up with it alone. You don't have to do it alone. And if you have a question, you've got a chat pod, go in there and ask somebody in here. We've got it as a team. Anything else you want to share, Nicole?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, we're not here to waste your time at all, you guys. We're going to be as efficient as possible with everything that we're doing. All of these calls and things, like, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. And you also don't have to do everything, right? Like, it's really up to you, but we're going to set you up for success. Okay. I don't want you to feel pressure like, oh my God, I'm going to fail. Like, this is to push you, right? This is to help you level up wherever that is for you, right? We're not going to say you need 100 partners by the end of the year, right? We're just going to push you to get uncomfortable, because that is where growth happens. So I think that is enough from us. Do you guys have questions? Do you have input? What are some of the things that are taking up too much of your time? Like, what are some of the things that you need to get better at or need more support with? Because those are the things that we want to know so that we can work on them and help you guys be more successful. Go ahead and unmute yourself. We want to hear from you guys. Like, this is a we thing, not a Katie and I thing. So please, like, give us some of your input.
So just
oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
Nope.
I really need like some help with like planning, like, and time management. So I'm really excited for like the Sunday planning sessions, because part of me is like, I feel like that's a waste of my time to sit there and plan. And I know that it's not. I feel disorganized and like just like I'm sucking with my time constantly. So I'm really excited to like commit to that weekly so that I can get that under control, because I feel like that will really help. Like, it's not like I don't know what to do to be successful. Like, I know how to like recreate that. I just have to find like that groove and that routine again. And I think once I can get there, that will help like so much.
Yeah, and those Sunday planning calls, at least for now, the time will be kind of fluid. So you'll hear that week what time that's going to be. We all know that your lives are busy, and as are ours, right? So we're going to do our best. Number one, you can guarantee it's going to happen, but it's going to be probably a little bit of a changing time depending on the week on Sunday. Christina also put in the comments that a lot of her time is sucked up on making posts. So number one, having a content calendar is it's going to help you focus, right? By knowing this is what I want to talk about. And the next thing is by sharing your posts, which I love that you guys are doing in that chat pod. By sharing your posts in there, it's going to be a good opportunity for you guys to get ideas. Now, I don't want you to grab and recreate somebody else's post. Speaking from your heart, you guys all know that's where the connection really comes, but it can help drive those ideas. And realistically, your post needs to be less than 10 minutes. That's it. Like, you can't spend more time than that. If you're overthinking it, then you're wasting time. And I really want you guys to get quick at it. And if that was like, oh my goodness, I spent an hour, I can't do 10 minutes. Don't panic. Like, it's okay. We'll get there, but we want to get it in a way that you have a content strategy, so you can just start to narrow it down and you can start to trim off your time and then stop overthinking it and rereading it and criticizing yourself, because it's probably fantastic as it is, right? Like, it's okay to have to talk. No, what is the word? To type like you talk, right? If you say what or right or okay, and you type that, that's good. That's great. People want to read it, like, and then hear your voice saying it. Like, that's the goal of it. So quit overthinking it. Well, we're going to help with that. Any other questions or struggle points? So I'll just read the comment here. I need the confidence. I struggle the most with following up with people. I always talk myself out of reaching out to people month after month. I worry I'm more annoying than helpful, if that makes sense. That is I think a very common feeling. So I have two thoughts on it. My first one is, if you go back and look at your chat thread with them, and it is you inviting with no response from them on the other side, then I would ask, like, where are you inviting this person from? Because I too have that guilty, and it's not necessarily a good look, right? To just be harassing this person with invites with no like connecting points. So this week, actually, in my stories, when I talked about something body related, whether it was my workouts or the business or whatever, and they watched those sets of stories, I literally sent a message that said, "Hey, I see you. Hope everything's okay over there." That's it. I didn't invite, but I replied on a story. So it's going to go in their stories like, oh, she sees me here. She sees me watching, right? And because they're there, they're the ones watching my stuff. I'm only inviting you because you're there. So if that's where you're doing it, don't be afraid to say like, hey, I see you. Do you have any questions? Or, hey, I see you. I saw you caught that. What can I do for you? Right? Instead of just sending an invite, try to engage them in conversation. So also, I always do all those types of messages at 5 a.m. before I'm like overthinking about like, well, how are they going to feel? What are they going to respond? You wouldn't believe how many messages I get out before 6 a.m. because I don't want to think. I just want to boom, 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 boom. And then I'll deal with their responses the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that we could really help you guys with. And I know that's something that I struggled with in the beginning, and so many people struggle with in the beginning is those conversations. So like screenshot them, like share it with the group, screenshot it, and we can give you feedback. You guys can give feedback to each other. But I think the biggest thing that I have changed is just really adding value to those conversations. So I'm focusing so much more on recipes now. And so I'll just, like Katie said, pop up a story, see who else watching that story. And I might just say, hey, I saw you, you saw my stories today. Here is the recipe in a PDF or like in a picture format, in case you wanted that, like wanted to screenshot it or wanted to save it, right? So not everything is going on my feed. Obviously, it's just one recipe a day or, a couple a week. So I have some of those like Tasty Tuesday graphics that I'm kind of just keeping on the side as like, hey, this is on my menu for next week, right? So just like, I think kind of breaking the ice a little bit, to just add value or let them know that you're there for them, not to just sell to them. And I think that was something that most of us were doing in the past, right? We were just selling to our followers. So we're trying to get away from that. And we're trying to add as much value as possible. And so yeah, I'm also here to help you guys with social media, like strategy and all of that stuff. Like if you feel like you're stuck there, I think making it simple, knowing exactly who you're talking to, getting super specific about your content plan, it should simplify it and it should remove that overwhelm. Like it really, really should. And it has for me. I know exactly what I'm doing every single day. And it's the same every week, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. And that's how people are building their Instagram following right now. And that's how they're bringing in new customers, is by just sharing value and sharing value and sharing value. So think about your game plan. Like, are you trying to grow on Instagram? Have you tapped into everybody that is already following you? Is Facebook working better for you? Like, where are your gaps? Because we all have them, right? I do hardly anything on Facebook. That is a huge gap for me. I know Katie does most of her business on Facebook. So that is definitely an area where I could focus more on. So think about that. Like what for you is it? And how can we help you close the gaps?
And I saw Kelly made a comment about wanting to get through the tracker quicker. I think that in this push group, whatever, I don't know what we want to call ourselves here, but in this beautiful dozen that we have, we are really going to help with that content and strategy. And I really do in my heart believe that when you have something that you're confidently inviting to, or a marketing plan that you're confidently posting about, the tracker becomes so much quicker because and I'll be sharing in the group. I won't go into a lot of detail tonight to save the interest of time, but I've been talking to my team a lot about, instead of having a spot on your tracker to like, okay, I'm going to connect for 10 minutes, right? Where I'm going to connect with these women in this location about this, right? So I know when I sit down for those 10 minutes to do my connecting, I'm not looking around for where I'm going to connect. We're going to really get specific on, so when you sit down to do the work, because I don't know, Kelly, if you work full time too, but like I don't have 8 hours to pour into this business. When I sit down, because I have a 10-minute pocket of time, I got 10 minutes. I got to do the things and I have to move the needle forward in my business. So we're going to be sharing some tips with you guys to really help with that.
All right, my computer's about to die and we're at the hour. So we want to give you guys time to go process all of this. We're in the chat pod, like we're always right here, just a chat pod away. Send us your messages, send us what your thoughts are, like where else can we help? That's all we're here to do, is to help you guys truly like be successful. That's all we want. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Like, this was amazing. And I appreciate you guys so much for making this a priority, and we love you all. And we can't wait to do some huge things together. So have a great night, guys.